Hey team, welcome back to our Math Olympiad challenge. Get ready to put your problem solving skills to the test as we dive into a thrilling Math Olympiad test paper question. For those who've just joined, this is focused on the 2021 paper. So grab a pen and paper and let's embark on this exciting journey of mathematical exploration. One day, Aaron and Disha played several games of table tennis. At 5 points during the day, Aaron calculated the percentage of the games played so far that he had won. The results of these calculations were exactly 30%, exactly 40%, exactly 50%, exactly 60%, and exactly 70% in some order. What is the smallest possible number of games they played?
So Aaron and Disha are playing a sequence of table tennis games. And during the course of this game, Aaron manages to achieve a precise winning of percentages, and finally 70%, but not necessarily in that order. So we need to know the fewest number of games that might have been played in order that Aaron can achieve these 5 different precise percentages. So let's begin with 30%. So to say that Aaron has won 30% of the games means that the number of games that he's won divided by the number of games that he's played is going to be seen as 3/10. And you could rearrange that easily enough to 10w equals 3g. And remember, w and g are whole numbers. So w times 10 is going to give you a positive integer. And likewise, 3g will end in a 0. And the only way that 3 times a number can end in a 0 is if the number ends in a 0 itself. So g is a multiple of 10. So where else could we use this argument? Well, if you worked with 70%, you could put 7/10, which means we would have 10w equals 7g, and everything else will work the same. So to get 30% and 70%, you must have worked with at least 2 multiples of 10. But the same argument doesn't work with 40, 50, and 60 because you get some cancellation going on. So that's good. So if we're going to achieve both 30% and 70%, we need to play at least 20 games. So you can have a 10 and a 20. So perhaps you might need to play 30 or more games. So let's suppose that they can do it with less than 30 games and see what that means. So supposing there are less than 29 games played, it must mean that we would get our 30% after either our 10 games or 20 games. And likewise, for the 70%, this would be after 20 games or 10 games. But can this really happen? So to get 30% after, shall we say, 10 games means that Aaron must have scored 3 out of 10. And to get 70% after 20 games, it means that Aaron must have scored 14 out of 20. So that means that between the 10th game and the 20th game, Aaron has to win 11 of those 10 games, which is silly and not possible, and that's not happening. So we can simply forget 3/10 and the 14/20. So suppose instead that Aaron scores 30% after 20 games. So that means he must have scored 6 out of 20. And likewise with 70%, after 10 games, he must have scored 7/10. So that means that in the games between 11 and game 20, he must have won -1 of them. So that doesn't work with us either. So again, we can eliminate that. So assuming that there were less than 30 games being played altogether, this cannot be happening. So now let's see if we can actually achieve an appropriate sequence of games with 30 games. Well, in fact, it is possible to arrange for these exact percentages to happen. So let's go ahead and see what sequence we need to work with. Well, it could be that Aaron wins just one of the first 2 batches, and in that way we can see it as 50%. And then 2 of the first 5 matches would be seen as 40%. And then if we go for 3 of the first 10 matches, it would be seen as 30%. So far, Aaron hasn't been so effective, but now his form picks up. So now he wins 12 of the first 20 matches, which is seen as 60%. And finally, 21 of the first 30 matches, which gives us 70%. So we're getting all the correct percentages, so it is definitely achievable. So we can check if he wins one of the 2, then he wins one of the next 3 to get 2 out of 5. And then one of the next 5 to get 3 out of 10. And then suddenly the form improves, and then he would have 9 of the next 10 to get 12 out of 20, and then 9 of the next 10 again to get 21 out of 30. And all is well. So what we've shown here is that you can't do it with less than 30, and you can do it with 30, and therefore 30 is the fewest possible number of games that they can play in order to get these exact percentages as winning proportions. Marvelous work. And there we are. You've tackled a challenging test paper question with skill and determination. And we're incredibly proud of your mathematical prowess. So keep nurturing your love for mathematics, and remember, every problem is an opportunity to grow and learn. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more thrilling Math Olympiad challenges. And until next time, keep exploring.